Punch newspaper. Former governor of Edo State, Senator Adams Oshimohole, on Thursday advocates for the death penalty for economic saboteurs attempting to undermine the operations of Dangote Refinery. Hey, interesting. This recommendation was made during his address at the maiden edition of Professor Emeka Umera's public lecture in Abuja. Oshimole, who represents Edo North in the Senate, emphasized the gravity of the situation, highlighting the critical role the refinery plays in Nigeria's economic stability and the detrimental impact of such sabotage on the nation's populace. In his speech, Oshimole revealed that the Nigerian Senate is currently considering a review of the Petroleum Industry Act. This review aims to address the contentious issues that have emerged since the Act's implementation, with a particular focus on ensuring that the legislation supports rather than hinders local refining operations. Oshimole's call for stringent penalties reflects the Senate's commitment to tackling the economic challenges posed by the obstruction of the refinery's activities. The event also featured Dr. Sam Amadi, former Director General of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, who cautioned against negative attitudes towards national leadership. Dr. Amadi stressed the importance of constructive engagement and support for the country's development efforts rather than harboring pessimism or wishing for failure. His remarks underscored a broader narrative of collective responsibility and optimism in addressing Nigerian economic and infrastructural challenges. The Dangote Refinery, one of Africa's largest oil facilities, has been facing significant obstacles in securing local crude oil, a situation exacerbated by alleged sabotage from international oil companies. The Vakuma Edwin, Vice President in charge of oil and gas at Dangote Industry Limited, had previously accused OICs of inflating premiums on local crude, forcing the refinery to seek alternatives from the United States. Despite denials from the Nigerian mainstreams and downstream petroleum regulatory authority, Oshimole's support for Dangote's management signals a push for legislative action to protect national economic interests. He said, Port Harcourt Refinery is not working. Every minister has come to set a new date. It is only in Nigeria you have several birthdays for a person, and then a new minister comes and says, I have done a review. They carry out new tasks and fix a new date. Now, we have a refinery built by Nigeria and they want to destroy it. This is why we will revisit the act and review it. Gang, hear it. My people, let's hear what you have. The only way to move this country forward is for economic saboteurs to face the death penalty. Whether they are corrupt government officials, corrupt politicians, or smugglers, them face the death penalty. This is why most Asian countries is making landmark progress. Asian countries are making progress because they don't insist a corrupt man from their region must be president of their countries. In Nigeria, we have a president's daughter become the head of all markets in our region. White House are transformed into millionaires overnight from the way the masses vote and behave on tribal lines shows we are not spiritually and mentally ready yet to meet up with Europeans, Americans, and Asians. Nigerians indeed are still prehistoric cultures. Nigeria have empty-headed leader. 3 refinery, no one is working. For 8 years, one government cannot fix one refinery. New government come and go. All the senators should ask yourselves what you are representing Nigeria for. The same thing to power sector. Nowhere you can celebrate light in Nigeria for 24 hours. The same thing gas, which Nigeria has. How much is 1 kilo? They laid gas line from Nigeria to Morocco, but Nigerians suffer it. God is watching all of you. Down tools and stay at home nationwide, and your leaders will change or will be forced to flee the motherland. They have turned those 3 refineries to dollar ATM machine, all in the name of turnaround maintenance, budgeting millions of dollars without any result to show for it. It is pathetic. Oshimohole, keep it up. You're exceptional in the Senate. Refineries in Nigeria can only work in Nigeria if death penalty is attached to saboteurs. That is the only way the monsters in the oil industry could be dealt with if Tinubu really means well for Nigeria. A government that lacks legitimacy cannot defend national interests. He becomes an errand boy to multinationals that represent foreign interests. IMF and Tinubu is one. God bless you, sir. That is the real case with Nigerian government of APC criminals. They don't want our refineries to work again because of their senseless, selfish interests. And the government is curiously maintaining silence over this sensitive issue that directly affects even the poorest of the poor in Nigeria. Was the government not giving the 4 refineries crude oil in the past? Why have they refused to give Dangote crude oil to produce cheaper petroleum products for the country? The president is the minister of petroleum. Why is he allowing this trend to go on to the serious detriment of Nigerians? Why would NNPCL be giving all sorts of untenable excuses for this macabre dance? Why is the GMD being retained since Buhari's government? Under his watch, half of our crude oil was being stolen and no refinery was allowed to operate. And now Dangote Refinery is being prevented from carrying out the long-awaited production with the government keeping mute. Why would Nigeria go on in this manner? It is clear that our problems in Nigeria is 100% designed with utter disregard for the suffering masses. APC is evil. That is why they did everything to rig the election. There is urgent need for the government of Nigeria to take necessary action against any individual or corporate body working against the interests of the country. Supply of crude oil to local refineries should take priority over export. This must be ensured at all costs. The government of Nigeria that wants only their family members, party faithfuls, ministerial appointments, and agberos to be comfortable will do that for you. You can't be a Nigerian. In this blind country, how did the one-eye leaders get the eye they used to lead us? It is a very big shame for Nigeria politicians to pretend not to know the solution to Nigeria problems. It's a very big shame for Nigerian politicians to introduce their way of governance in Nigeria as democracy, knowing too well that the so-called democracy government is worse than the military regime. Reason: all the economic facilities built by the military regime for the well-being of Nigerians has been destroyed by the democracy government. What is democracy, if I may ask? Shame on Nigerian politicians, shame on Nigerian democracy. You are not focusing on Nigerian refinery, but on Dangote's refinery. What happened that till now our refineries are not working despite the millions of dollars sunk and the promise of resumption of operation? Is FG not a shareholder in Dangote? How come they are not facing OICs? There is something fishy going on. Some people know well. What of those sabotaging Nigerian refineries? The white people should be treated the way they were treated by that Idi Amin of Uganda. I was surprised that Tinubu didn't remove the GMD of NNPC Limited when he was forming his government. Does it mean it was agreement between him and Buhari? Honestly, that cabals in oil business is more dangerous than drug cabals. You are right on this. I like the way you comment and analyze things without being tribalistic. Keep it up. The problem with us is voting through tribal lines. We don't vote competence. Let our petroleum minister respond to Dangote's allegations and correct Oshimohole. Then we will know he is innocent. Oshobaba, I believe you. This is why I support you for the Senate race, because your eyes dey see well. Carry on, I dey with you. Death penalty is the answer. Let the law that regulates it be amended to death penalty. Things will change immediately in Nigeria, including terrorists and bandits, kidnapping and looters and Yahoo to face death penalty. That is the only way Nigerians will have peace and strength to live peacefully with one another. Okay, that is all for today. Thank you for tuning in to listen. Don't forget to send in your comments and your opinions on this matter. Till we meet again, bye for now.